What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Greezy, and today we're going to go over a how to play castle guide for you here in Rainbow Six Siege. And so we loaded in on the test server just so we can kind of show off the new map of Chalet for the rework we have for you, as well as go over some of the new sites that'll be coming to the game. Because as of right now, he's going to be one of the operators that's getting the 1.5 times zoom scope. So it's actually really nice. It's going to be a good in-betweener for people that like ACOG and Hollow. So you have the nice openness of Hollow and a little bit of zoom, so you're not too zoomed in, but you're going to have a little bit better accuracy if you like to have that zoom level. So it's going to be a good change to the game. But we're going to go over how you play castle. So when you first off as a beginner, when you start playing castle, you want to think about where you're going to put the barricades. Because what you can do is you walk up to any doorway, window, you can tear down windows, so you can take off the old one. Then you can put a new one up. So you put up one of these barricades, looks just like this. They're bulletproof, nothing can shoot through them. They either have to be blown up with a breaching charge, like an ash charge, Zofia impact, or anything like a grenade, anything that can do destruction that's explosive can get it open, or it takes 12 hits. So you have to go up to it, hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have to hit it 12 times before it goes up. So a lot of times you'll see people put them up on a thing, like on a doorway, or they'll put it in a window that they want to jump out of, and they'll hit it only 11 times, and you'll hear a lot of people call it 11 hit. That way they know they just have to hit it one more time, and then they can jump through it, and then they have a good way to rotate. So you want to think about where you're going to put your barricades as castle. You never really want to think about when you put them up, you never want to put them on areas that are going to shut off your sight. So on this sort of site, like you wouldn't want to put one on this door necessarily, because at that point you're going to be closing in your sight. So maybe you have roamers that are playing over here by fireplace and main lobby that are trying to hold people off on angles, or maybe you have someone who's playing in library, and then say they get the bomb down somewhere in sight. You're going to be cutting off that roamer trying to get back to sight by cutting off that entryway. So they're going to have to come up, they're going to have to try and tear it down themselves, and then get inside that. And at that point, they're going to be letting everyone know where they are. So when you put them down, you want to think about how they're going to affect your team, but you also want to think about where you can put them that's going to deter the attackers. So you can create like a funnel, so to say, or like a kill zone. So that way they get to a point where they have to either let you know they're coming through that doorway, it's the only way to get in, or they're going to have to blow it up so you know where they're coming from, or at that point they're going to have to completely like just move around that area, or they're going to have to completely make sure they don't go that direction. They're going to have to just neglect that part of the map. So when you put them up, you want to try and be strategic about it. You want to think about areas that you can put in that are going to cut off rotations for the attackers as well, so they have to avoid that area. So like say you put one over here and you did decide to put it on this double door because your team isn't going to be worried about roaming off over there too much to the library side or through the fireplace main lobby area. And that's not necessarily a bad idea, because up here with these bomb sites, you're going to see you have a kind of a split site. So you're going to be able to bring your shotgun, since he was given the super shorty now last season. So you also can create rotates. So normally you're going to be able to create a nice little 4-shot rotate. And then you can have a nice little rotate to go between the sites. So you're going to have the added way of creating rotates, being able to, if you want to roam off as well as castle, creating your own rotates by opening hatches or just creating that little spot. But it's also going to think about where you want to put them. So like this sort of site, so you have the rotate there, you want to try and do it. You could put one right here, that way it does make it so it's harder for that team to push through, or you're going to know they're pushing from over there. But I also like to put them in places that are going to be areas that are cutting off your team, but you also can create rotates in other areas to get through it. So like over here, you're going to have this little spot over here that's a kill box. It only has a staircase and windows that defenders can come through. So I would normally probably put one on this door, because this way we're not really worried about this side of the map. If anything, if we really need to, we can create a rotate right here. And then you can move through the site, so you can move through over here, and you're still good to go. So at that point, you could even put a castle right here, because from there, at this point, you already have all the movement you need through sites. You can get around. You could even put a rotate right here if you really wanted to at that point. But I wouldn't really suggest that, because it is opening up the wall to the area for your team. So you could either put one there if you wanted to, or if you didn't want to put on that wall, you could create that rotate through that doorway, and then you would be able to put, again, like we have one right here and on that window. And that way you're trying to make it so it's going to barricade out the team from having to decide if they want to use utility to open up one of the castles to push from this side of the map, or they're going to have to either push through this window, or they're going to have to try and use utility to pop open this one as well, or they're going to be trying to push through this door. So you're going to limit their access entries. You're going to limit how they can move through around the map, how they can get into the site. So you're trying to make sure you have entry points and different doorways limited to how the team can move. So you really want to think about where you're going to put them. And as a beginner, I really suggest people to put them in easy places that are on like windows, so it can protect your team. So like you can even just do the one I did over here on this doorway, and then you can do it on this window so you can protect your team just that much more. So that way you're just trying to cut off lines of sight for your team. That way it's not as easy for them to open up that window to see this rotate as well. So it's kind of little things like that to think about where you want to put them. Because at that point, this could be a very impactful castle now. Because that way you still have your team, you can rotate, you can move around the site. But it's limiting the team, because once the attackers come up, they only have this stairway or these windows to come up. So they're not going to be able to like pop up on the balcony and they're going to see this doorway easy. They're going to be very exposed trying to get to this doorway. So you'll be able to have somebody able to play over here by the jacuzzi if they need to, because you already have the castle, you're not worried about it. You have the doorway castle so they can't try and push in the site easy. And the last one you probably put up could have been on this double door. So that way you already have majority of your points set up. Then you probably have someone put maybe barbed wire right here, or as your secondary, you are getting proximity alarms as well with castle. So you could put them in places. So say you did do the double door, you left that window open. You could put one like right here on the piano. So that way if they do decide to come through this window, they open it up and they just do the wood. They may have a line of sight into sight over here, but you're going to have someone that probably can counter that from either behind this wall or someone else in sight. But even if they do get in there, say they push up and they're trying to come around to get a different angle, they're pushing, they're going to come about right here, and that's going to see them. Then they're going to be given away the position. And at this point, that's in a good area because it's a no point of return. There's no way they're going to be able to move back. It's a point of no return. Sorry on that wordplay there. It's a point of no return for the attacker, because once they get over and they set that off, if they try to move back, they're already putting themselves in a line of sight here, or you could have been playing off of it over here and swing, and that's a really good spot to put those sort of things on places that are points of no return for the attackers. And that way you don't have to worry about your backside anyway. Even if you do play here to swing, you already have that canceled, so if they get that open, you're going to know it's going to make a very loud noise. And so you're going to have a lot of places covered. The window might have exposure to you as well, but that's not a very good spot for attackers to play either, because it's a repelling. They have to be on repel to get through this window. So it's not a smart place. The majority of the time, you're not going to have any players trying to do that often. So you'll be kind of free. You may want to have to watch for it, so if it does get open, it'll be kind of a worry. But it's not a huge worry, especially towards the beginning of the round, or even if it never gets opened. And you're not going to be in a bad spot playing this wall. So that's what you want to think about when you're playing castle, where you can put them that can create lines of sight, or just create little kill zone funnels for the attackers. You want to try and put them in places that aren't going to really deter your team much, but it's going to make it so you can play off of them, or make sure you get, like we're talking about, those little kill zones or points of no return for the attackers. So let me know down in the comments below. This is kind of a new map, so we're still learning how we can play, what are good castle spots. So I may change it up as we go. If you have any spots that maybe you've thought are strong on this new rework for Chalet, let me know down in the comments below. And let me know maybe which site you're liking, if you've played test server at all. But I did want to get this in for my console players to watch videos that are on here, because they don't get to play around with the new sites or see the test server. So I definitely want to make sure we got test server for this video, since we did get access to it the other day. So let me know down in the comments below which site you like. If you like the feel of the sites, if you like that you can change your optic color, I think is really cool. A couple new sites will be very strong, I think, in the game. It's very nice. They're giving a lot of defenders the 1.5 zoom. So it'll be a fun season. It's going to be a great time to see how they have the added dot in the middle of your crosshair as well. So let me know down in the comments below if you have any tips you think maybe I didn't go over. If you have any questions, let me know. And it's always nice to have discussions. So let me know down in the comments below what you like to do with Castle, your favorite map to play in. It's always nice to hear back those sort of things. But we'll keep it till next time, boys. Keep it easy. Keep it breezy. It's your boy Greezy. I'm out.